bit about this. I see this in magazines. I personally love it. But are you really seeing it in homes and second properties? And
yes, we are. We're, I'm seeing it in remodel properties and in new construction. It's people are going for a simpler, cleaner look, kind of a zen feel. I guess this is kind of in the mountains we might call it more of an organic contemporary look, because you might mix in some of the rustic things like a slate or something in with it to give it more of a mountainous look, or if it were in a log home, that would give it the rustic look and appearance, mixed with the simple, clean lines. There's a lot of things that attract somebody to a contemporary kind of look, or this is a frameless cabinet. In Europe they use frameless cabinets all the time, and actually they often take their cabinets with them when they move from flat to flat.
that I've actually heard of. And some of the features, like even in the stainless drawer, you've got all the components that you can add on, so it becomes more utilized.
It can mix and match. And this is actually a stainless drawer, full extension glide, has the Blum motion closure where it closes real softly. And then there's also the maple dovetail drawer box as well. And they're full extension drawers, which most of the frameless cabinets are a full extension drawer glide. So I think that's part of it. You get to use the full use of the drawer, full use of all your space. Again, it's in both remodels and new homes. So just looking for a simpler, cleaner way of life.
One of the things I'm noticing is you've got the little niches above, and then you can actually carry that all the way down. There doesn't seem to be any wasted space.
Right, and that's part of what the frameless is doing. You don't have a lip. If you open up this cabinet, this is a little different feature.
Oh, interesting.
Flip top, they call it. But there's no lip around it like in a frame cabinet to take up that space. So you have full access to everything inside the opening once you do open it. So it's a little bit of more space. Sometimes I've heard from 5 to 10% more space that you're able to utilize in the cabinetry. I don't know if it's actually that much or not, but it's very nice and clean look to it.
And how's the durability factor as far as wear and tear, knowing it's a second home and there's going to be a lot of other people using it? If it's in a rental pool, will it last?
Certainly. The finish is done in a high heat process, is where it's kind of dried. So that finish is quite durable as a top coat finish. So you just use soap and water to clean it down, and it would withstand some chemicals that we use. We don't recommend that, but it would withstand it. It's not something you'd want to let it sit on there, because it would eventually wear through the finish. But yes, it's quite durable. Just soap and water is great.
And what do you see as far as the timeline and the longevity on something like this? Obviously, it's a trend for right now. What do you think? I mean, is this going to last?
I think so. I think it's something that will mix in with everything else that's going on. I think often the mountains are considered a little more rustic, and people are finding ways to kind of mix the rustic with the contemporary to get that zen feel, or that simple, relaxed state of life or peace of mind that they're looking for in organized cabinetry.
I'm seeing this also for small spaces. This obviously looks like this is a really well-designed kitchen. You've got lots of cabinetry, lots of storage. Small spaces or all the way through?
Both, all the way through the gamut. Small, large. One of the other factors with this particular cabinet country is they're green. They are LEED certified, so the formaldehyde in the cabinetry is very low. They have a low VOC finish that they use, so there's no emissions, or not the same quantity of emissions that might be coming. So that's a good product as far as if you're qualifying for green, which I think is a trend going on as well. With the clean lines, people are looking to make their carbon footprint on the earth a little less, which is always good.
Yeah. One thing that I'm also curious about, what happens when they start in this process and they decide maybe it's not so much all their style? Is there a way to mix and match some of it?
Certainly. You could still have the frameless cabinet and not have the smooth, kind of look. You could incorporate more of a traditional kind of door into this kitchen if you wanted to go that route. certainly.
Let's go look at some other kitchens for other designs for other people that may be interested in a little different lifestyle.